terms of conversion rates and everything that's going around conversion rate optimization, I think a lot of people try to shortcut their way to success, and they think copy and paste this landing page template, I can just use these 10 hacks and throw them on my store and I'm going to increase my conversion rate. While conversion rate is like a lot more work. Everything you do in business, if you want to do it right, you have to put a lot of effort into it. It's based on the foundational understanding that you have to create your target audience, your prospects, and the market that you're selling to. You can only crush really in e-commerce and as a brand owner if you understand the fundamentals and principles of psychology, of direct response, of advertising, of business, of unit economics, of all of this. The biggest change was finding a why, right? It was not about how can I make more money anymore, but why am I doing what I'm doing, right? And that was always a huge thing for me, is to kind of find out why are you doing what you're doing, because only if you have like a really crazy driver, like a really strong why, you're going to push through all problems, all struggles, all challenges, and all highs and lows. Because and I also read a really great tweet about this today. Nobody wants to talk about the dark sides of being an entrepreneur. Nobody wants to talk about the years and years of loneliness where you feel like, is this even going to work out in the end, and all that stuff. Like, nobody's going to talk about that ever. Like, I really want to do like a mental health podcast one day for entrepreneurs.
That would be, like, that's a good idea.
24/7. Yeah. Because this is also like one common trait that I see along every entrepreneur. Most of them, like, they are to some extent, I don't want to say crazy, but they have a really unique way of viewing reality and viewing the world, right? It's like you have to be somewhat, is crazy the right word? I'm trying to find the perfect word to describe it.
It like delusional a little bit is kind of like another word that but I know where you're going with this. Yeah.
Probably better to describe it, because you have to be somewhat delusional to believe in yourself so much that you actually just put years and years of hard fucking work into yourself and like the vision that you're trying to accomplish. Something that Lucas said, like, first of all, you have to switch from how to make more money to why are you doing this, because you need something that fulfills you. As Tony Robbins says, success without fulfillment is the ultimate failure. You don't want to be 35 years old, having a 9-figure net worth and everything that you can imagine, and you don't feel fulfilled, right?
Yeah.
So that's a huge one. And then Luca also said this in another podcast, you always have to believe in yourself and trust the process. So for me, if I would have to pinpoint the common traits that I see, it's like a hunger that you cannot really, how do you say, like insatiable hunger, like a hunger that you cannot really stop.
Yeah.
Right?
Like a thirst.
One more.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like the thirst for more, you always want more and you can never stop. Like and like delusional sense of trust in yourself and the vision that you want to accomplish. And then, so I think entrepreneurs always keep learning. Like, you're always being a student of the game. Yeah, it's almost a weird balance between, you have to trust yourself to a certain extent, but you always have to put your ego down so you can be a student again and learn more. It's like a really weird balance. Maybe you can resonate with this, that
100%.
Like, on the one hand side, you really have to trust yourself, and then on the other hand side, you have to put your ego down so you can learn again, student again, to go to the next level.
Yeah, that's a really great way to put it, bro. That's brilliant. I think if you can manage that balance really well, that's when you achieve like outsized returns. And I think that's what, you see in all these other people that you mentioned. So super interesting. Those are great traits. Now, let me get a little more technical now and ask you a little bit about some common mistakes that you see in conversion rate optimization. So let's say in general, the landscape of e-commerce, what do you think are some common mistakes that people are making that's really hindering their conversion rates?
Really technical too, so I like it. So in terms of conversion rates and everything that's going around conversion rate optimization, I think a lot of people try to shortcut their way to success, and they think, well, I can just copy and paste this landing page template. I can just use these 10 hacks and throw them on my store, and I'm going to increase my conversion rate. While conversion rate is like a lot more work, right?
Right.
It's same with the creators and same with the media buying, like everything you do in business. If you want to do it right, you have to put a lot of effort into it. So I think like that's some of the myths that are going around there. And in terms of how to do it right, it's also on the foundations. It's based on the foundational understanding that you have to create your target audience, your prospects, and the market that you're selling to. Because at the end of the day, I keep coming back to psychology so much, is that you can only crush really in e-commerce and as a brand owner if you understand the fundamentals and principles of psychology, of direct response, of advertising, of business, of unit economics, of all of this, right?
Right.
So you need to have a good understanding of all of these, because otherwise you're not really going to grow and hit like 7, maybe even mid 7 figures. But if you really want to take it to the next level, like mid 8 figures, you need to get down to the foundations and the principles.